So it's at 1 o'clock. If I do open carry or concealed carry and have the vest, what I'll do is I'll move the gun to 1 o'clock right here, or I guess it's more like 2 o'clock. You can't sit unless you go 3 o'clock. So when you're in the vehicle, you'll have to sit, and then what you do is you have another firearm in your vehicle that you can respond to so that this one stays in the holster. So I always have two guns. When I get out of the vehicle, I simply take my belt and I shift it to the 2 o'clock position, so that way I'm faster. And notice there's a 1-inch gap right here, so you don't have to fumble with your thumb. You can get a good grip and get it out of the holster, okay? It's important you have that gap, because if it's tucked up against you, what happens if your thumb gets stuck or you fumble, okay? You're gonna be a lot slower. Now this way, you can walk and you can feel where the grip is by your wrist right here. So your wrist tells you where the gun is. So I'm going to do another 25 to show you how your wrist can help you draw. So here I am, my wrist knows that the handle's right here. So I just simply come up. So I'll do 25 for you, like that. And what I'm doing is I'm looking into a mirror, and the mirror is my opponent. And what I'm doing is I'm aiming center of mass in the chest on my opponent in the mirror that's about 3 yards away. So that's what I'm doing. So let me do 25 for you. Okay, the reason why I'm doing these draws faster is I'm trying to put a little bit of stress on myself to make myself mess up. So draw more, and fumble or something like that. But what I've learned is that if you do 25 draws before you leave the house in the morning, before you leave to go anywhere, you're pretty much set for the day, because you have it in your mindset. You know where the gun is. You know how to draw it because you've drawn the gun with what you're wearing. So if you have a 511 tactical vest, do 25. So the first 25 you saw me do was a cold start, which means I hadn't warmed up. I just went into it cold, and I did 25 for you, and you might have seen one little slip up, but that was probably reholstering. So reholstering, it doesn't really matter if you mess up too much, because you're not in a gunfight when you're reholstering. So, so it's just pretty much the draws, which you want to pay attention to. So the reason why I do 25 quicker is because I want to put a little bit of stress on myself. And when you're drawing and you're standing straight, you don't want to move your body. You want to stay straight like this. So you're kind of tensed up, and you just let the draw do the work, not your body. So some people, you'll see them go like this, or you don't have to do that kind of movement. You just stand straight and let your wrist tell you where the gun is. Just like that. So it's that fast. Now, if somebody was closer, what you would do is you could start with the pelvic region, And you could do something like this. I'll do a few of them for you. So that way the gun isn't up here high where somebody can grab it, because what you're doing is you're shooting his pelvis before he can get to your hands. So you're already low the way you are, and you're coming out of the holster like this. You have retention right here. So he would have to come in and grab the gun or something like that, but he couldn't get a hold of your hand because it's right here. So what you want to do with these, I need work on these, is you want to do something like that for the pelvis. And at the range, you would want to shoot the pelvis area. And then once you got the pelvis, well, what that does is that throws your opponent off and they're startled. Okay, pelvis. Okay, now you can go to the chest. Now you can go a couple shots to the head. It's really that simple. So anyway, the purpose of carrying, whether you have a 5-shot revolver or any kind of semi-auto, the purpose of carrying is surviving the gunfight, which means you're going to get to cover as fast as you can. Even though you think you're John Wick and stuff like that, I understand some of you think you could be out in the middle of the street and win, against 10 people or something like that. You got to realize a lot of these guys have accidental accuracy where they can shoot and kill you. A lot of cops have been killed by accidental accuracy by people that hardly ever shoot guns at all, like gang members and different types of people, where they were shooting sideways or shooting on the run, some crazy stance or whatever, and they hit. Why is that? Because sometimes accuracies help, accuracy kind of does its own thing. Even if you screw up, sometimes the bullet still hits where you want it to hit. Unfortunately, it was hitting police officers and stuff like that. So when you got a lot of gunfire out in the street, the John Wick scene where you got 4 or 5 guys with guns, you're pretty much stupid being out in the middle of that kind of thing. So that's just Hollywood, people. So you don't want to get into that too much. You don't want to think, have a mindset of Hollywood. You watch too many TV shows, okay? That's not real life. So real life is you got to be behind cover. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 person, 2 people, or 3, because like I said, accidental accuracy, the person might still be able to hit you, even though they don't practice, even though they're not a competition shooter. You might get hit. The high volume of fire, the mag dumps, they can still get you. So you want to be careful of that. So, but in the meantime, every morning you leave, you must draw with what you have. And you also must use the tools you're going to use for defense. For example, I got a knife right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I got a little short stubby knife here. I can pull out anything less than, say, 3 yards. I can use this too. If I'm in a checkout line and somebody wants to attack me or something like that, close range, I can take the knife and it can buy me some time. And because the blade is short, if something happens where I lose the knife or something, it's not really a long enough blade and it's hard to grab the knife because it's so small. So it's only got room for 2 fingers, this one does. But what the knife does is it just kind of gives you some time so you can get to your weapon. So the knife is a close quarters fighting tool if you don't know martial arts that well. And me, I have taken different types of martial arts, but I'm not really like an expert. So I have to depend on this knife here if I don't know my techniques well enough. So the knife gives me a way to fight back, and it borrows me some time so I can pull out the knife and I can go like that and throw a person off, and then I can go for my weapon. So, and the reason for having the small knife is, like I said, if something happens, if you have a big knife, they can stab you pretty deeply with a big knife. But a small knife like this, just this one's like probably 3 inches total from here to here, the blade. Something like this, if I should drop it somewhere and somebody goes for it, okay, it's not this big, huge Bowie knife, all right? It's just this little knife. So, and like I said, I would probably be at my weapon at that time anyway, ready to draw on that person. So the knife buys you some time, and then also I carry some pepper gel, and limited circumstances for pepper gel, like somebody's drunk and you can outrun them and they keep coming to you. they got you cornered somewhere, you can spray them, get the hell out of there, outrun the drunk. Anybody that's drunk and uncoordinated or something like that, typically I'll just outrun them. I'll get away from them if I ever have a situation with somebody like that. So there's no need for me to use any kind of weapon on anybody that I can just get away from, right? So that's what you want to do. The number one thing is getting away and not causing the problem. That's one of the big things too, is not having an ego trip or something, or causing problems or arguing with somebody. You want to pretty much just talk with them. If you feel like they're going to argue with you, just agree with them on everything, even if they're wrong, so they don't get upset, and just be on your way. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Just give them the benefit of the doubt. If they want to argue a certain thing, politically or whatever, just let it go. It's not worth getting in a big fight about and having somebody attack you. So you just say what you believe. They say what they want to believe. And if there's a problem with it, then you just walk along, go somewhere else. But anyway, thanks for watching, you guys.